In the past, kids learned their football on the streets. That's not often possible today. The streets are overcrowded. The playgrounds are poorly maintained and plagued by drop dirt. Neither are car parks suitable. More and more footballing colleges have to rely on coaches. This is true not only for professional, but also for amateur football. The coaching of footballers is the collective responsibility of professional and amateur football alike. Both parties stand to gain. If the pyramid has a solid and healthy base, conditions at the top will be healthy too. That's why professional football bears a responsibility to its amateur counterpart. MVB has long recognized this fact, and each year has devised a new project to promote football. It all started 3 years ago with the Jeugdwijzer. This footballing Bible proved a tremendous success. In the Netherlands alone, more than 700 amateur clubs are involved. The manual is also available in English, French, and Japanese. 2 years ago, this scheme was followed up by the setting up of clinics and highly popular information evenings at amateur clubs. This season, the project takes the form of this video, which is aimed at promoting football at grassroots level. This is a joint venture with Ajax, an obvious choice. New talent emerges there almost every season. At the moment, names such as Seedorf, Buter, Olga, and Kluivert are not that well known internationally. Not for much longer, though. Ajax is popular across the globe for its attractive, attacking football. Ajax choose to play attacking football in order to entertain the spectators first of all. Although that's difficult, just entertaining the crowd. Ajax have to get results too. And attacking football, the way we play it, is the most difficult style of play, because mostly you're playing in the opponent's half. Not that we're so keen on that. We try to keep the game as open as possible. It's just that our opponents do tend to withdraw, and the case of Ajax is overwhelming technical and tactical superiority. The building blocks for attacking football are laid many years beforehand at the youth coaching stage. The basis for this can be summarized in one word: tips. A future Ajax star must show technique, insight, personality, and speed. At amateur and youth level, personality and speed are less crucial. Technique and insight are the most important aspects. So, always practice with the ball. Insight is gained first and foremost by playing in position, so long as the coach coaches well. Ajax are not the only club to be spreading the news about attacking football. Since Seth Pothosen arrived as coach of MVB, the team has gone on to the offensive. Both MVB and Ajax always take their attacking football wherever they go. This video demonstrates to amateur and youth coaches how their own teams can discover attacking football. But this places demands on the coaches as well. I think the most important quality of a junior coach is choosing the right move that suits the level of your players. And that you always remember that the first priority is enjoyment and experience for the players. Technical and tactical considerations come in second place. Right, let's start the next game. Using this space, with its space available, play handball and try to win the header as quickly as possible. Corners are just dead balls and there are no throws. You just take another ball from the back of the net. Ajax's trademark is their style of play. Right throughout the organization, from youth to first team level, positions and the roles they entail remain the same. This enables attacking football to be executed by training from fixed positions. The practice moves which most closely resemble match conditions are the best. Here we have 11 players trying to put together an attacking combination and finish. A great deal is left to the creativity of the players themselves. Another important element in these practice moves are touching the ball once or twice. And of course, once the cross has been made, getting into position in front of the goal. Finishing either directly or from the midfield. The first ball in every move is important, and that includes the clearance by the defending player. Rebound situations must be dealt with decisively. It's the coach's job to intervene if this does not happen. The triangular moves in Ajax's play are clearly visible, where the ball is passed along quickly with one or two kicks, with possible overlaps from the midfield or the defense, and immediate finishing at the near goal post. It's the same with long balls coming from the defense. The central defender is forced to pass the ball first time with a header or kick. Coaching is extremely important with these moves. Whoever is in the best position must take the finishing shot. To make the game more realistic, we can bring two defenders into the game, depending on the level of the training session. It makes the game more enjoyable, but also increases the difficulty of attacking. Often you will see that introducing defenders makes the attacking moves work even better. The players recognize that more realistic football situations have been created. Okay, finishing over a distance using double passing. You play the ball, Green passes back, you pass to the furthest man, he returns it, and you shoot for goal. flowing movements demonstrating finishing on two goals, defended by goalkeepers. Emphasis is placed on the one-to-one confrontation. On the right, two lines are defended. In the top right-hand corner, by using a passing player, and in the bottom right-hand corner, without a passing player. The defender on the left can only defend within a specified area. In the top left-hand corner, in the open space. So, there you have 40 different ways to practice attacking football in training. Ajax and MVV hope that you'll be able to put these into practice in your own situation. May I remind you of my colleague, Lee van Gaal Worms. Gain as much experience as possible. Success will follow automatically. So, get to it.
Aan de slag, als het team trekt, om de game.
These are all actions that players need to win a match. Passing. Receiving. Attacking. Keeping the ball on the ground. The deep pass. The 1-2 combination. And the shot. Oh, too late. These are the World Cup qualifications. Tension is high. The stakes are enormous. The British defend with all they have. Interpreting the rules requires the referee's constant attention and balanced interpretation. This is not always easy. This attempted goal is halted because the English do not stick to the rules. Pressure, tension and stakes, a place in the competition, the fans, and the weather and field conditions are all extra difficulties in a top-level match. In the second attempted goal, brothers Ronald and Erwin Koeman quickly discuss the shot, and Wouters understands his task. Koeman kicks very hard, so the Brits prepare for a blockbuster. But Koeman anticipates the British reaction and plays a gentle curving shot into the corner of the goal. Perfect. Technique as a means to score, and always adapted to the situation. The key is observation. The wall is good. Koeman, however, sees the space the keeper didn't cover and does something unexpected. Technique in soccer. 4-on-4 variations. The way to learn from the start. The 4-on-4 basic configuration. To learn to control the ball is the most important aim in teaching the young to play soccer. As soon as children can control, kick, and move the ball even a little, it is time to further develop technique in situations specific to soccer. The 4-on-4 method is an ideal way to do this. In fact, 4-on-4 is the smallest possible simplification of a real match. Here are the dimensions of the field. This basic setup is played on a field 40 meters long and 20 meters wide. The goals are an easy 3 meters wide because there has to be a lot of scoring. This program is about 4-on-4. With its many variations, this basic training method confronts children with everything that must be learned about soccer at that age. Different camera positions and literally slow-motion replays are used to show the children how to master technique. By changing the dimensions of the field, the goals, and the rules of the basic format, all of the technical abilities required in a match are covered. Let's use Holland-England as an example. In soccer, situations change constantly. The game is played with a ball, teammates, opponents, and naturally, the rules. Observation is therefore very important. Recognition of situations and insight in the game is necessary for player development. The players in the Holland-England World Cup games finished this learning phase long ago, but children are not yet ready for certain ingredients of the pro game. Motivation and feeling are absolute requirements for learning. For professionals, the atmosphere with all its trimmings. For children, a clear aim in understandable situations. The first variation, which is covered, is 4-on-4 with 4 small goals. Depending on age and ability, the dimensions are length, 15 to 18 meters, width, 40 meters. The adapted rule is that scoring can be done via 2 small goals. Watch out for the direction of play. The characteristic of the form is continuously illustrated at possession of the ball and opponent's possession. First, possession. Scoring chances can be created by a fast change of playing field section. Next, opponent's possession. Positional defense must be good, forcing the opponent to play wide, and of course, taking away the ball. The requirements set for the game are split into own possession of the ball and opponent's possession of the ball. During possession, a very high ball speed, direct play and/or taking play, good field occupation, and the recognition of the right moment to offer the ball. During opponent's possession, good organization of field occupation, the recognition of the right moment to attack the ball, and active defense, disrupting opponent's setup. These D students show what it really looks like. The first requirement is good organization. The players must be properly spread across the field. The coach helps to accomplish this. Here again, from a different angle. The Dutch national team has also mastered game movement. Passing with the inside of the foot and the taking or carrying of the ball is always coupled to the situation. There is no ideal technique. Aside from technique and insight, soccer is also a team sport. The player on the right had a different view from the player with the ball. He shows this quite clearly. These children already handle technical abilities very diversely. They show a rich scale of technical solutions, again, all based on observing the situation. The coach clarifies the intention and gives technical assistance. It is clear that ball control and technique are dependent on the opponent. Pass. Take possession. Control. Reverse direction. And pass. And now, for the big brothers. Pay special attention to Walter's getting free. Here again, technique is a resource. Defense also naturally requires technique. A slide or sliding tackle is always a last resort. You must get the ball, but this boy missed time. And an incorrect slide can be painful. Kuman, with more years of experience, gives a good example. Another nice example now with the girls. Same ideas, same approach. This action makes use of passing with the inside of the foot. Why with the inside of the foot? It gives great accuracy and control, particularly in quick and short play in the position game, for example. Points of attention for the execution are choosing a good position with respect to the ball, observation. The standing leg should be lightly flexed close to the ball and the foot pointed in the direction of play. The playing leg is turned slightly outward, knee and ankle flexed. The playing foot is turned slightly outward, perpendicular to the direction of play. The point of the foot is lifted and the ankle is taut. The contact surface is the inside of the foot. When the ball is hit at the bottom, the ball will go up. When the ball is hit at the top, the ball will remain low. The taking and carrying of the ball often also occurs in this way. Why taking and carrying? When the ball cannot be passed on directly, when the game can be moved from a small play area to a larger play area. Points of attention for execution are choosing a good position with respect to the ball and the opponent, observation. With the exception of the arms and hands, the ball can be taken and carried with all parts of the body. The most commonly used are the instep, inside of the foot, sole of the foot, upper leg, chest, stomach, and head. The principle is, first meet the ball, and upon contact, go with the ball flexibly and deaden the ball. Balance the body by means of arm position. Move as little as possible to get the ball ready to play. Prior to taking and carrying the ball, the player can trick the opponent with a feint and create more space and time for his next initiative. Soccer is all about scoring. In the following section, shooting at goal as the action. Like so many things, in learning to shoot, practice makes perfect. The basic technique is present here. The concern now is application in the match. For this, we use 4-on-4 with 2 large goals. The dimensions are length, 25 to 30 meters, width, 30 to 35 meters. Scoring must be possible from every position on the field. The size of the field depends on the age and skill of the players. The characteristics during possession and opponent's possession are during possession, scoring, getting free effectively with and without the ball, getting teammates in a scoring position, laying the ball down well, and the continuation of the game by the keeper. During opponent's possession, in the first place, of course, prevent scoring attempts. Secondly, the keeper collects shots at the goal. The requirements set for this game are get the possession of the ball and during opponent's possession of the ball. During possession of the ball, be goal-oriented, get good position, shoot as soon as the ball is free, make passing actions to free up the ball. Keepers should throw or roll the ball accurately and at the proper speed. During opponent's possession, cover opponent with ball tightly. Do not get played out. Do not commit passing. Do not fall back to own goal, but go to the ball. Block shots at goal. Now, a few examples in which the technique used for shooting is determined by the opponent's position in the field. This situation again. Free up the ball and shoot. The shortest way to the goal is a straight line, but only when it's possible. Look hard and shoot. Is it in or not? This is no good, nor this. Choose your position and shoot, and it's good. Once again, this last shot. Watch the tension in the foot. This one counts too. The coach increases the tension. It's still all about scoring, so a few pointers aren't out of place. The coach replays the situation in slow motion and explains what precedes a good shot. Now try it again yourself. Enough balls at both goals increases efficiency and enjoyment. And a goal with an inviting net keeps everyone motivated. There is always something that precedes a shot. A cross from Overmars to De Boer way over on the left. He plays out his direct opponent and passes back to Overmars, who lays it back. And Koeman shoots. Pay attention to the way the defense is divided to make room for the shot. In this form, the instep kick is used often. When is the instep kick used? When shooting at the goal, when moving the game over a long distance. Points of attention in execution are choosing a good position relative to the ball, observation, The standing leg is set next to, behind, or ahead of the ball with the last big step, pointing the foot in the direction of play, knee lightly flexed. If the standing leg is just beyond the ball, then the ball remains low. If the standing leg is just behind the ball, or if the ball is hit on the bottom, the ball goes up. The torso is bent over backwards and bends forward powerfully at the moment of the shot. The playing leg is brought back from the hip and knee, after which the swing forward takes place. The foot on the playing leg is stretched at the ankle and kept taut. The contact surface is the full or inside of the instep. In this variation, 4-on-4 line soccer, we see the E pupils at work. In 4-on-4 line soccer, the length of the field is 20 meters, the width 40 meters. Watch the direction of play. These are adapted rules. Scoring is by dribbling the ball over the opponent's goal line. The characteristics of this form are during possession and during opponent's possession. During possession, scoring is done by dribbling over the goal line. Players must be brought into one-on-one situations via positional play. During opponent's possession, positional defense must be excellent. The opponent must be forced to play wide. And of course, capture the ball. The requirements for this game are during possession, good ball handling in the positional game, being able to act quickly, being able to pass immediately, having an overview of situations to move the game, choosing the moment and the direction of the passing actions, cutting off the opponent's pass, and covering of the ball. During opponent's possession, keep an eye on the ball, keep the opponent from scoring without fouls, keep an overview and see more than direct opponents. Cover from rear. This form also calls for a flexible use of the technique. No two passes with the inside of the foot are the same. excellent example which illustrates the requirements of this game. Freeing up the ball. Pass. Look hard. Pass again. And if it goes wrong, then defend. Here the tackle. Two examples in which the sliding tackle is very useful as a last resort. Passing, receiving, controlling, looking hard, a good pass, a dribble, and a goal. Now, the orange shirts. Good position play, good field occupation, good passes, proper ball speed, and if the ball cannot be passed directly, keep it. The coach uses the situation to clarify the technique in defense. Here's how not to do it. The yellow card is appropriate. At the other end of the field, number 2 gives a perfect example. Look at the ball, keep the knees low, maneuver, start the tackle at the right moment. The pass is blocked.
Stop. Nog een keer. In die bal.
This girl is having a hard time with the direction of play. The coach demonstrates.
Hadden gedaan. Ben je heel goed, je draait open en daar moet je de pasen. Voor, waarom ervoor? Dat is een beetje meenemen. Daar. En dat kort hoor, doe nog weer open. Hè? Je draait weer open en voor eruit. Heel goed.
The player plays the situation again.
Stop. Hoe hard moet je die ballen aanpassen? Op je afkomt.
This player puts no taste into her pass. This puts her teammates into trouble. This is a good time to talk about ball speed.
Oh ja, dat kan je nog niet doen. Rustig, goed passen. Op de bal hebben wij die loop.
Let's have a look from the other side. Now we're back on defense, and this sliding tackle needs to be worked on a bit. You can see it's not working. The coach explains the purpose of sliding and how it should look. Let's see if they've caught on. That's better. Dribbling and driving is central to line soccer. When is dribbling and driving used in the game? When advancing the ball in slow tempo and in limited space, we refer to dribbling. Driving is when the ball is advanced at a higher tempo and in a large space. The technique requires attention to these points. The ball is contacted by the playing leg often enough so that it's kept at running speed and is kept going in the right direction. The ball is on a rubber band. The correct tension in the ankle and foot of the playing leg is maintained so the ball doesn't jump out of control. The contact surface rotates between instep, inside and outside of the foot, depending on the changes in direction. The body somewhat over the ball, while the arms control balance. While running, the knees are slightly bent, not like a track athlete. Concentrate on the area of play and the ball. Observe. Sliding is taught from the start in line soccer. When is sliding used? It is the last opportunity to prevent the opponent from shooting or crossing to gain control of the ball. When preparing for a slide, you must be sure that contact is made with the ball, or better yet, captured. Otherwise, better to stay on your feet. The technique requires attention to the following. The standing leg, beside or just behind the opponent, is bent on the last step. The body is completely extended. The playing leg swings backward. The player slides towards the ball. And depending on the area of the playing field and the distance to the opponent, he chooses to tap the ball away with the tip of the foot, pass the ball with the instep, or gain control of the ball by turning the foot around the ball and then bending the knee while the body slides through. The last variant to be dealt with is 4-on-4 on a long, narrow field. Here, the deep pass is often required. This kind of playing field has the following dimensions. A length of 40 meters and a width of only 10 to 15 meters, dependent on the experience and the age of the players. The characteristics of this form are when in possession of the ball and when the opponents have possession of the ball. When in possession of the ball, after winning the ball back, the deep pass must be made as soon as possible. When the opponents are in possession of the ball, direct pressure must be put on the opponent, thus get to the ball and prevent the deep pass. The demands made on the game are when in possession of the ball, concentrate and think deep. Free up the ball. Good positioning in the small space in preparation for the deep pass. Short 1-2 combination and collection. Good teamwork, communication between attackers and deep player. When opponent is in possession of the ball, defend against the ball, and keep the line of play, offside line, close to the deep player. Advance. Pass deep. Keep your eyes open. Play through and score. You reach the other goal quickly. Dribble. Control. Instep. Take possession, control. Pass from the inner foot. Take, prepare, and score. The very same story goes for the Dutch team. In every game, the positioning is emphasized to be able to play a deep pass. In 4-on-4, the golden rule is to get the ball back in play as quickly as possible. Soccer is a game to be played. Lose no time, so instead of allowing a throw-in, kick the ball.
Hallo, en scoren. Goeie sliding. Sliding, jongens. There you go. En stop. Relax. En dan moet je stikken worden. Help je stikken. Niet zo hiervan. Ja, ja. En scoren. Stik, stik, relax.
As always, technique. And a high ball to solve a problem, not a means to an end. To work out a play and to frustrate the intentions of the opponent. This is impossible without first understanding your opponent. Take control. Brian Roy shows how to do it. This is playing free in a small space. To really get the hang of it, certain situations must be repeated many times. But soccer is also a game to be played actively. The players have to recognize that and not offer passive defense. We'll have one more look. Lastly, a look at what the instep kick can do for you. The instep kick. When is it used? When moving play over a long distance and possibly over the heads of other players. Points of technical interest. Choose a good position in relation to the ball, observe, Place the standing leg right behind the ball via one last big step, foot pointing in the direction of play, knee slightly bent. Points of attention: standing leg just beyond the ball remains low. Standing leg just behind ball, the ball goes up. The body is bent backwards and leans forward during the contact. The playing leg is brought back from the hip and knee, followed by a swinging motion forward. The foot of the playing leg is extended and stretched in the ankle. The point of contact is the entire instep or the inside of it. In conclusion, enjoy the game. Do we know technique now, or what?